Have you ever noticed how silence can weigh more than thunder? That's what Christmas felt like this year. I sat alone in my apartment, lights low, the radiator rattling like it was struggling to keep me whole. Outside, I could hear families laughing, glasses clinking, kids squealing over toys. In my place, just me, the dark, and a single candle flickering on the window ledge. Not for Christmas, not for tradition, just to keep the room from swallowing me in emptiness. Then my phone buzzed. A message from Michael, my brother. Short, blunt. As always, you'll watch the kids for a week while we're on our cruise. Not a question, not a request, just a command. That was Michael in a nutshell, the golden child who never had to ask, because everyone always said yes for him. Growing up, he was the chosen one, and I was the shadow. Every Christmas, the tree was buried under gift for him. Bright packages, gasps of admiration. The spotlight always is. Me? A pair of socks, a book I didn't want, sometimes nothing at all. One year, when I asked why, Dad said, "Be grateful you're not Michael. He has real pressure." Pressure, from what I saw, looked like new bikes, the latest sneakers, and an extra slice of pie while Mom beamed him across the table. Pressure was applause for him, silence for me while I scrubbed the dishes. And I played along for years. The dependable shadow, the one who said yes. Yes, I'll drive him. Yes, I'll stay home while you go out. Yes, I'll babysit. Yes, yes, yes. Each one another piece of myself handed over, gift-wrapped, placed at their feet. Yet they never noticed. So when I read his text, my chest tightened. My thumb hovered over the screen, muscle memory urging me. Just say yes. Don't make trouble. Because trouble, that's what they called it, whenever I dared to have needs or boundaries. Trouble was me having a voice. But something inside me finally cracked. I typed one word. No, just 2 letters. But it felt like ripping out a splinter I'd carried since childhood. It hurt, but it was clean. The next morning, the doorbell rang. There they were, Michael and his wife, standing with suitcases, smiles plastered on like they were checking into a hotel. "Didn't get your message," he said casually, like the idea of me refusing was impossible. "We're heading out today." And for the first time in my life, my voice was steady. "No, Michael, not this time." I saw it land. His grin twitched, his jaw tightened. Not shock, not confusion. Insult, as if my refusal was an act of rebellion against the natural order. His wife's eyes darted to mine, part disbelief, part contempt, before tugging him down the hall. The scrape of their suitcase wheels echoed like a warning. The next day, a note appeared on my door. "You'll regret this." Once I would have, because that was always the script. I say no. They brand me selfish, ungrateful, a disappointment. Mom called me difficult. Dad said I was too sensitive. Michael didn't need to say anything. His silence was condemnation enough. That night, I sat with that note in my hand, the candle burning low, and thought about every Christmas I had begged to belong. When I was 8 and Michael unwrapped the game console I'd asked for, Mom said, "You'll get your turn one day." When I was 13 and Michael left dinner to be with friends, I stayed behind to clear the plates alone. When I was 17 and made honor roll, Dad dismissed it. "Don't be dramatic." Michael made varsity. That's something. I thought of it all, and instead of envy, I felt clarity. A few nights later, my phone lit up again, Michael. I could hear music, laughter, the cruise in the background. His voice was slurred, bitter. "You ruined everything." Then he sneered, "Mom says you've always been a disappointment." That word cut, but not because it was new. It was the oldest scar I carried, a label stitched into me since childhood. But this time, instead of unraveling, I stayed steady. "I don't regret it," I told him. Silence stretched so long, I thought the call had dropped. Then his voice returned, colder. "You'll regret it when you've got nobody left." And maybe he was right, because the avalanche came. Dad called, sharp-clipped, "You're selfish. Family sticks together." Mom called, sobbing, "How could you do this to us? You broke my heart." Old family friends texted, repeating the same script. "You've changed. You're cold. You'll regret this." It was like every voice from my past returned to bury me. But I didn't bend. Not this time. Because I finally understood. They weren't furious that I said no. They were furious that I finally knew my worth. When Christmas night came, I was alone in that apartment. No family dinner, no laughter, no gifts. Just me, the candle, and the hum of the radiator. But for once, the silence wasn't heavy. It was clean. I thought of all the years I had begged for a seat at their table, when all along I could have built my own. I thought of the shadow I had been forced into and the man who had finally stepped out of it. I wasn't invisible anymore. I wasn't broken. I wasn't theirs to use. When I blew out that candle, the room fell dark. But inside me, for the first time in my life, the light stayed, and I didn't regret a thing.